Hi and welcome to another Watch Geek video. Today we get to review the new addition to the Spinnaker Hull collection, the Big Date Chronograph. If you follow my channel, you can remember I did a review of the Hull California recently, and I said I liked that watch. I liked the style, the case shape and finish, and I liked the hands and dial. Well, this version adds a bit of complications to the watch while losing some of its mechanical soul, as this is powered by a quartz movement. But not just any quartz movement. It is powered by the Seiko VK73 that belongs to the Mecaquartz family of movements and is in fact the most complicated variant of those movements. So on top of the 60-minute chronograph, this one adds a 24-hour subdial and the cool-looking big date complication at 12 o'clock. Like I said, this is a Mecaquartz, meaning it's a hybrid between a mechanical and quartz. Not in the same way as the spring drive though, but imagine it like a regular battery-powered quartz movement with a mechanical operated chronograph attached to it. That gives you the feel of the mechanical chrono when you press the buttons, as they have a nice firm click to them. You also get a sweeping central seconds hand that moves 5 times every second. And lastly, you get the mechanical instant reset of the chrono hands when you press the reset button, something that is missing on the Miyota version of these movements. As there, the seconds hand will slowly glide back to 0, as seen in my comment review. I personally prefer Seiko's version more, as it does feel more mechanical and more snappy. With this movement, you get the best of both worlds in a way. You get the precision and reliability of the quartz with the look and feel of a mechanical chronograph. The watch itself is almost identical to the regular Hull in size and shape, and I love it. I was afraid Spinnaker might increase the size with the chronograph version, but luckily they kept it at 42mm with a reasonable lug-to-lug of 47.5. The only place where the watch grew is the thickness, that is now 15.5, which is a lot for a quartz but still doesn't look too thick thanks to the domed crystal and bezel. The crystal used is still a sapphire-coated mineral, and it's the one thing I wish they changed. The case is Panerai inspired in both shape and finish, so you have a brushed finish on the top of the lugs and the tachymeter bezel with engraved markings, while the rest of the case is highly polished. As usual with Spinnaker, both finishes are done very well without any distortions when it comes to polished sections. It all makes for a quality looking and eye-catching piece on the wrist. Since the watch comes with 100 meters of water resistance, Spinnaker made both the crown and the pushers a screw-in protection that should stop you from accidentally pushing the buttons underwater. It does give an extra security and adds to the look of the watch, but I hardly think people will be using this watch for diving, especially given the nice 22mm leather strap provided. But it's good to know you can take it in the water with you once you change the strap, unlike Panerai and their entry-level 30-meter water-resistant piece. And lastly, we come to the dial, and as usual it is my favorite part. Featuring pretty much everything Spinnaker has done with various models, it has the sandwich look of the original Hull and Panerai, the gradient color we have seen on the Rec model, and it is textured like most other Spinnakers. It does seem like an overkill, but in combination with the busy dial layout, it just kinda works. Each subdial has its own cutout style, which makes for an interesting loom show in the dark. But I wish they printed more markers on the 60-minute chrono subdial, as like this, it is pretty much useless between 5-minute markings. The logo and hands are gold colored, which adds to the charm of the watch, but I wish Spinnaker used the same color on the framing of the subdials and the date, as it will make for a more consistent color scheme. As you can expect, I do like this watch. When I saw the first renders, I thought I will dislike it as I expected a 45+mm monster, but with 42mm it is very wearable while still having a lot of wrist presence thanks to the large dial and hands. The watch will retail for $235, which means you can get it for $188 if you use my code WatchGeek20. That is slightly cheaper than the simpler mechanical version of the Hull, which makes it a good value, especially when you consider how much other brands are charging for Mecaquartz movements. If the watch came with a sapphire, it would be an excellent value and a no-brainer. But even like this, I can't say it's overpriced, so it does get a green light from me. Well, that's it when it comes to this week's review, so thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed and found it useful. If you did, please like and subscribe, and until the next video,